So good morning and welcome to all of you. So we are likely to start our session on excelling in research with academic reputation. So we are very happy to welcome Dr. M. Selvamurugan, Managing Director, GESEL Research Hub, Chennai. Sir, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and joining us for the session and to share your valuable insights and your experience and expertise on research. Sir, we welcome you, sir, on behalf of Francis Xavier Engineering College, Department of Information Technology, as well as from the research cell of Francis Xavier Engineering College. We accord a sincere and warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
I would like to welcome all the participants for the session, and you've been giving a great support for all our webinars, and we welcome you all. And I would like to give a short profile of the speaker today, Dr. M. Selvamurugan, who has worked as a technical consultant for various MNCs across different countries, and he has hands-on work experience for more than 10 consecutive years in different platforms. He is known for his expertise in different data analytical and processing tools of current IT environment, such as Informatica, Tableau, MSBI, DataStage, Cognos, and so on. Knowledge is power is an old saying, and he strongly believes in it, and he's always willing to share his knowledge with all the curious talents. And today, the technological trend has driven him to engage online sessions as well. So apart from this, he is an interview panel for certain banks in USA. He's got a passion to set his path in research, development, and training services. In the light of this, he had started to open a company and is in good progress with the research cell as well. And I know him in person. Like he has been supporting us in various research activities as well. Sir, we are very indebted to have you for this session. And over to the speaker. Let us start the session ahead. The participants, if you would like to have any queries, you can post in the chat box and comment box, which will be answered by the speaker at the end of the session. Thank you so much. Over to the speaker.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes,
So
sir.
first, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the committee of this program, and also very good morning to all the professors, research scholars, and my dear student friends. So today we are here to discuss about excelling in academic research with high reputation. So as we are academicians, so as soon as you get into this topic, you might have understood, okay, so what exactly we're going to discuss throughout the session. Let me show you the roadmap of the session today. So this is what exactly we're about to discuss for the next 1 hour. So though we are going to discuss how to excel in research, so I would like to give a little brief on what is research and why exactly research is needed. And as academicians, as academic research, how we can contribute to the real-time innovations, and how our academic research are exactly different from uh, industrial research. And I would like to show you how, as an academician, how can we excel in our research platform. So not only by writing a paper or writing an effective thesis and submitting to efficient journals, not really. So apart from this, we are allowed to do many stuff. Like you are allowed to do patent filing. You can go for international collaboration with different universities in different countries, and we are allowed to get different research funding from different institutions throughout the world. So we have a lot of opportunities available everywhere. So we should be able to grab it only when we have more idea about it. So we are going to discuss all these points one by one from now on. So first, so we all know what is research. Research. Everyone speaks about research, whether they are a student or research scholar, or if they are supervisors, or nowadays, as we all know that in all the institutions in India, either it is a private institution or government institution, so PhD is a mandate for all the professors. Or if you are, it's a basic eligibility for getting an appointment for any institution nowadays. So, as academician, we have to get into academics. So, how do we ensure that we are qualified for this? And how do, even though we have thousands of applications submitted for the job, so as a PhD, how can you differentiate yourself from other applications? So, I'll tell you one by one from now on. So, before that, let's discuss what is a research. Research is an art, I would say always, because wherever I go, I always use this word as an art. Why? Because we do not know what exactly we are about to produce. The famous quote I always quote everywhere. So if you know what we were doing, and we wouldn't call it as a research. because if you know what would be the output at the end, we cannot call it as a research. If you are about to start your career as a research scholar, so we didn't, you do not know what would be the output at the end of the stage, because when you start to write your research proposals and then writing literature review articles, and then if you get into a proposed work, and then if you keep on writing many articles in order to enhance write a quality thesis, and at last we will come to know what at the end of the stage we will come to know what exactly the output is. So if you take any industry in the real-time environment, you take healthcare, pharma, or especially finance, retail, or any industry, etc. I would say any industry you take, we are dealing with millions of records of data every minute. So we are collecting data for various operations. We are doing a lot of manipulation. At the end, we need to know good results. Result is very important. So either it is we have to incorporate some innovative idea into the research in order to ensure that we are giving the best to the world. So that we can call it as a research. So research needs, human needs are endless, I would say always, because we need many innovations, we need many innovative idea in order to incorporate into our real-time requirements, so that we will be able to make sure that things are going good and effectively and efficiently. So when it comes to research, if you take any platform, so as I expressed, as I mentioned, healthcare related everywhere, we are dealing with millions of records, we are collecting information and we are processing it and we are visualizing it through different tools, and we are making sure that we are able to get the nice reports, and at the end we are able to we can ensure that we are into the right platform of the research. So basically, okay, we know research. Okay, we are collecting data, we are processing, we are making the results. But not if you do research on the existing data, then we cannot call it as a research, because that is called as analysis. There are few difference between research and analysis. Analysis means if you have some data with us, and if you keep on extracting data from different data warehouse environment, and if you are doing a lot of analysis on the Excel data by using different business concepts, we can call it as an analysis. When it comes to research, we are supposed to incorporate new innovative idea into the business data, and we have to ensure that the idea that you are trying to expose is not available already, and it must be used by all the persons in all the platforms. Visually, when you take a real-time environment, wherever you go, so you take any industry. If you take if you're let me take few examples here and there. So if you take a weather monitoring system, or if you take a traffic control system, or a health monitoring system, for example, if you go with a hardware application, for example, if you are trying to know your vehicle, how it functions, and whether it is a good condition or not. If you take your civil application, civil environment, civil department, if you need to know your structural behavior of a particular building, or if you know that, if you like to know the strength of the building, we need to know, we'll be able to understand by measuring the same building by various parameters. So all these things can be done. Even you can deploy equipment for the same, or you will be able to deploy some machines for the same process. But how quickly, how accurately, how effectively we are able to get the data, and how the data must be effective, and it must be able to, everyone must be able to understand it. Because then only you can call it that the data is effective, and it is we can say that we are doing little research on the same. And if you are able to overcome the existing issues, you can say that okay, in order to overcome this issue, if you incorporate this new idea, we can say that it is a research. So basically, all these environments, wherever you collect data, we process it, we manipulate it, either from any platform, you take any industry, we are doing a lot of stuff. So everywhere it is computerized. As you know, you take any industry, everything is computerized, and we are using a lot of sensors, we are using a lot of devices are deployed here and there. We collect data for processing, and we are ensuring that we are doing research in a proper way by using different tools. Here, when it comes to these research platforms, for example, let me give you one quick example: weather monitoring system. And if you decide to go out of your home, there are chances you may have a storm tomorrow, or there's weather monitoring people. What they do, they'll calculate, they'll try to know the current scenario of their city, and they'll collect the data from the cloud, and they'll ensure that tomorrow you may have a storm, so don't go out. Or they'll give a warning to all the fishermen people. So if you take healthcare information, healthcare, and here all the patients can be monitored effectively by making use of a lot of sensors. Here I would like to speak about one word called sensing. Sensing is an interdisciplinary keyword. It's available on all the platforms. You take CAC, EC, EEE, mechanical or civil, aeronautical, aerospace. So wherever we go, we use sensors. So what is a sensor? Sensor is a device which can read data, and it can send it to any server. The data can be manipulated, and it can generate results based on the information. So that is why nowadays everybody is doing research on IoT. So what is Internet of Things? So what is that? So we must be able to read data in the world. It could be anything, either it is a physical object or a conceptual object. If you extract some information about an object, and you must be able to generate, or you must be able to export the data to the platform beyond your expectation. That is, if you use a mobile phones or computers, and rather than using, instead of using these devices, sensors are extracting data from any platform and can sense information. The informations are exported to different servers, and in this server, you're allowed to do a lot of analysis. And here is a place the informations are compared with the existing information. This is a pattern matching, what it is. So machine learning coming into our. So machine learning is the process of the already machines are deployed with a lot of information, and if you are trying to know the pattern, because this is how the current scenario of this weather, and if you check with the existing data, okay, tomorrow morning you may have a storm, or tomorrow morning you have heavy rain around 10 o'clock in the morning in Chennai or in and around the city. I'll be able to give the warning over message or email, or you can over television. So you'll be able to inform them appropriately by using these kind of sensors. So sensors are deployed everywhere in all the platforms. Especially in research in academics field. So what we don't do research effectively, honestly speaking, because we do research. I agree by writing a papers, and we do write literature review, and we'll write a thesis and we'll submit it. But we cannot call it as a research. Maybe for academic point of view, it is okay. But when it comes to real-time industry, how people are doing research, that is, they collect data, and they are trying to incorporate new innovative idea, and then they are ensuring that is not already available. This is what I quoted here. So research is to see what everybody else has seen, and to think what nobody else has thought. So when it comes to these point, I would like to say that if you take any real-time industry environment, so after processing the information, you must be able to export the data effectively to the needy people, so that we can say that it is research. Because whatever decision we take, it must be taken on time. If you take a decision after 1 hour, if suppose if you decided to travel from Tirunelveli to Tuticorin, maybe you'll be able to travel by car maybe 45 minutes in order to reach your airport over there. But there are chances you may have a huge traffic in the middle. You can predict the same if you turn on your Google map. You'll be able to predict. Okay, so if I start from Tirunelveli to Tuticorin, it will take 45 minutes. But in the middle, you have a huge traffic. So if you change the path, you'll be able to go to the airport in maybe in 35 minutes. So these are possible only when you collect data from the signals nearby. So is it possible to deploy a server in all the signals? It is not possible. It's not cost effective, because we have to deploy a lot of hardware need to be deployed on all the traffic signals, and it is quite impossible to collect data from all the signals effectively. And also it's a cost effective, and nobody would do it, because we have to provide proper power supply in order to store data. It is not at all possible. So what we do? So you can have a simple device where you can deploy in all the traffic platforms, all the traffic signals, and it can sense the data from the nearby, from in and around the signal from the particular point of place, and you can read the data. You can export it to nearby server. If suppose if you are from Tirunelveli to Tuticorin, you have almost 25 signals, we can extract data from the signals, and we can load into one particular server, and based on the behavior of the particular behavior, or the traffic, or the number of cars and the vehicle moving, the people are moving around the place, you can collect the number of data, and you can match this data with the existing data information available in the server. You can notify the customers or the client that, so this you may have a traffic in few minutes in this signal. If you inform them on time, that is good. If you inform the same thing after 1 hour, it doesn't make sense. So similar, that's why research is very important in all the platform. So we can do update the client at any point of time. Then it is not required, because if somebody is looking for some information, we have to update them on time. That's very important. Especially if you take healthcare. If somebody is affected by some disease, and if you are supposed to provide a treatment for this particular patient, if you take time, okay, sorry, I'm not available right now, I may not be able to provide the patient treatment right now, means it doesn't make sense. So you must be able to provide the support to the needy people when there is a need. So even if you take healthcare industry, nowadays, due to COVID-19, especially all throughout India, most of the hospitals, the private hospitals, I would say, they are providing support over video calls and WhatsApp call, or even phone call. You can through chat with them through chat or WhatsApp, whatever the media you want, to contact them, and they'll assist you. Even if some patients are critical, they may not be able to get into the hospital. They are deploying some sensors in the home. Even if nobody is there to take care of them, there are few sensors, sensors are deployed in their body, maybe in their wrist or in the heart, to know the health condition of the particular patient. If suppose if something goes wrong, what happened? The sensor will take the data from the particular patient and it will send it to the server, and the doctor or alerted immediately. They can understand, okay, something is going wrong, and they can immediately treat the patient, or they can send somebody to treat the patient immediately to ensure that he or she is really doing good at that platform. Even when it comes to research, I would like to tell one word about cipher murder. Maybe it's a new term. It's recently many companies are doing research on this platform, cipher murder. Why? What it is suppose imagine a scenario. As you all know, I'm from Chennai. If some doctors in US and X or Y is going for a operation in heart. Okay, and then they undergone a medical surgery in US, and he back to Chennai, and he's staying here. And imagine a scenario that, okay, the doctor is monitoring the patient from there effectively. There's no issues. He's collecting data and he's doing everything properly. Suppose during, as you all know, all the data are transmitted by using networks. If some intruders, the hackers, are getting into the line to steal the information, or they can do anything, whatever. Even they can change the behavior of the particular machine. They can do anything. What hackers do? They just change the functionality of the particular code. If the code is designed to exploit, to heal something, I can make sure that I can kill the patient by changing the code of the particular pacemaker instrument. Will be able to kill the patient. Not only a simple example. Similarly, if you deploy something into in any human body, the behavior of the particular machine can be changed completely if intruders are hacking your network. So we need to do a lot of research to ensure that the data are transmitted properly. We take biomedical, healthcare, civil engineering, or microbiology, aeronautical, everywhere research needed. In all A to Z, I would say in simple words, research need to be deployed so that the information can be transmitted effectively from source to destination. So when you do this X to Y, here the data transmitted through network. Network, as we all know, there are a lot of layers available. The hackers can intrude, so we encrypt the data, decrypt the data. We can do a lot of stuff when you transfer the data. Even now, trackers are able to intrude and they can steal the information about a particular organization or particular patient information or transaction information, anything. So to overcome this, we have to ensure that we are providing high security to the applications. So security, security, security. So security is very, very important for all the applications. So usually, before I get into security, I would like to speak a little bit about basically these research platform has 4 different categories, I would say. Why? Because when you start to design anything for any society, any application, we need software, so especially first hardware, and then we need software, application, and theoretical concepts. This is a base for all the research work. You take any research, you do any research in any platform, we need these 4 concepts. I'll repeat the steps. Hardware, software, applications, and theoretical concepts. Hardware, as we all know, when the company started to design a hardware, how they can design? The design must be unique. It must be able to handle more data in a short span of time. It must be cost effective. It should not take more time to execute, or it should not consume more power while you execute the data. And also, there are chances if you deploy some hardware device in high altitude, you may not be able to provide power supply. By the time you need solar energy to read data. So you have to design the size is very, very important, and cost is very important, and architecture of the chip is very important. It must be unique and it must be able to handle more data. It must fit for more suitable environments. You should not design a chip only for a particular environment. If you are able to deploy same in more situation, it must be able to adapt it. So that we can say that the chip is good and it is efficient enough to handle more data in a short span of time. It must be accurate. It must be efficient. So when it comes to hardware, even if you take especially CSE, we need not to speak more about it because everywhere we're making use of computers. And the computer science people, the engineers are using different applications for handling data and processing data, visualizing the data, and generating nice reports based on the existing data available in data warehouse environment. So when it comes to these research, when you're collecting data and when you're processing information, when you're loading into destination, and these are okay. All these comes under again. It comes under business intelligence. I don't want to get into this much about right now. Business intelligence is a part of research, I would say. Because there we do only analysis. When it comes to research point of view, the hardware company is focusing more on generating very good hardware and hardware designs. Here, apart from hardware, okay, once the hardware is designed, what is next step? We have to go for the software. Software is a platform where we can build nice application for the execution. It's operating system, kernel or compiler, or, all these things must be designed properly to handle or to execute applications effectively. So basically, after this, what is the next step? We do look into applications. So applications, is a piece of software program which can execute any sort of applications. If it is for finance application, finance means if you must be able to handle millions of records at a time. If you are into if your RBI is running application in Delhi, they might be getting data from different branches of banks from throughout country. So what they do, they must have the capacity to extract data. They must have the capacity to manipulate the data properly. And for this, their hardware must be able to deploy it in a way that it can handle more data. Here, the application, that is why, since when you keep on speaking about data, so that's why again the big data came into account. So big data, because we use structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data for analysis purpose, and all these information must be tracked properly by using different applications. And here, that's why big data came into account. We're using a lot of research on the same. How can we handle all such data, and how can we ensure that we are able to produce nice reports, and we are able to produce good research on the existing data by using different research contributions. So usually the research, apart from hardware and software application, theoretical concept. Theoretical concept is a combination of the above three: hardware, software, and application. Because here is a place, as academicians, we are playing a vital role. Because what we do, if somebody decided to do research on cancer disease, so what they do, they'll start to collect data about a particular, if suppose brain tumor, they'll start to collect about brain images, and they'll start to do a lot of analysis. They do pre-processing, segmentation analysis, or they'll do a lot of stuff, and then they'll come up with a good decision that, okay, this is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. They can understand the stage of a particular patient, and accordingly will start to treat the patient. So research is mandated in all the platforms. But as an academician, in academic field, we are into the fourth layer. We are not into hardware designing, we're not into software designing, we're not into application, the theoretical concepts. But how do we excel in academic research? So once you step up, if you are into application, if you design a nice application that can be deployed everywhere. Even if you design a simple application to know a current situation of finance in India, that's obviously good. If you decide to design a simple application that can extract data about a patient, and that can help them to contact the patients effectively by incorporating nice algorithms and effective way of communication, though you have a poor network connection, then it's a good research. And by using research existing data, if you're able to come up with a good research results, then it is good research. So if you are as academician, we have to step up. You have to, from theoretical, we should move to application. Then we must be able to design nice softwares, and we must be able to produce some hardwares also. But we never step up actually. We always in the theoretical part of it. That's a drawback of the academician, I would say. So even now, I'm here today only because of the COVID-19. Why? Because we have a huge virus getting spread everywhere, and we cannot go out. And all the institutions want to ensure that everybody is making sure of everybody is making use of their time effectively. And that is why all the academicians and all the academic field, especially everywhere, we people are into this platform, and we are meeting many people over webinars, and we are attending many seminars. It's also it's innovation. It came into account nowadays. It's already available, but we are using this platform. In order to this platform, I would say it can be used effectively to fill the gap between academics and IT platform. Why? Because IT people are doing lots and lots of research, but they never do only theoretical concept research. They do they do implement the concepts. They do get the output of the output of the research. Maybe in terms of hardware, maybe in terms of software, maybe in terms of a nice product. So they do a lot of stuff with respect to the researchers. So we usually classify these research into, in general, not only academics or industrial point of view. So we should classify this into 3 types. So applied research, problem-oriented research, and problem-solving research. So basically, the applied research is a place we speaks more about a particular information. Here, see, I have given a simple example to find a specific cure for a disease. That's how I was speaking about it. If suppose if someone is in excess in Chennai, if some the doctors in overseas, if I'd like to know if the doctor decided to read about the particular health of the patient, he or she can do it effectively, though he or she is not physically present in Chennai. They can deploy some sensors on the patient human body, and they can test the patient BP level. They can check the that means heartbeat. They can check your complete temperature of your body. They can activity of your body. Suppose somebody is in the bed completely, all your activities can be monitored by using sensors. So applied research is a one that is used to solve the problem that is available in different environment. The effective example is healthcare department. Even if you take finance information, if you take aeronautical, that is, aeronautical is a very nice and example I would tell you. Hope you people are aware of all these things. There is in June 13th, this 2020 June 13th, SpaceX in overseas had a tie-up with NASA, and they launched a satellite in satellite in moon on June 13th. They took almost 4.5 hours to launch, and totally they took almost 12 hours for the complete process. And in the initial stage, they were launching this by using a space vehicle called Dragon. Here, what they did, just they are using various concepts: artificial intelligence, machine learning, aeronautical concepts. They're using different problem-solving techniques they use. The reason why I'm quoting this is, when it comes to industrial research, they have implemented the concept by using the Dragon vehicle, especially in SpaceX. It's a completely automated vehicle. It's a completely automatic vehicle. You need not to do anything as a scientist, as a space person. The person can sit inside, need not to do anything. Just they are supposed to press yes, next. And in case if they have any issues while they connecting this Dragon vehicle, space vehicle to the existing moon room, there is a space. They are constructing a room over there to do a lot of research. They can connect with the existing device over there, and it can be done in 2 to 3 hours. It can automatically perform all the operation. Yes, it did it successfully. You might have watched the video also in YouTube and televisions. Even if not, you can, when you find time, please look into it. It's about a 3 to 4 hour video, 4 hours of video. If you look into it, you'll be able to understand many concepts, how the research people are doing research, especially in space, and how they're launching this satellite. It's the first time NASA has released this video. And that's where this applied research and problem solving research are getting a job from. So when it comes to problem oriented research, here is a place we do give only solution to the problems. That means we don't do more research, we do only analytical based researches. That means if you have some data with you about any institution, about any field, you can get the data, you can process the data, you can export to any environment. You can ensure that you are giving some results based on the existing data, based on the behavioral structure of the data. You can give information. That is called problem oriented research. When it comes to problem solving research, here is a place the research companies, as I mentioned just now, especially when it comes to overseas people, not only overseas, even if you take ISRO is also launching many satellites to the moon, and how to know for exclusively for giving good things to the agriculture department or to weather predicting. So there are for various reasons they are deploying satellites in the moon, and they are trying to ensure that they are doing a lot of research based on the data they are collecting from the Earth. So when it comes to applied research, problem-oriented research, or problem-solving research, all these three are clubbed together, can be clubbed together in academic field. But we don't really do it. What we do is we mostly look into the applied research. That means we are trying to find the issue, but we may not be able to give the right solution. We can give solution, but we don't implement. We never have the product with us. But now I never say that completely we never have the product, because if you go to IIT or NITs or IIM, the people are implementing the concept. They're trying to ensure that at the end, when they go for a Viva, they have some end product. This is what I can contribute to the world. So even the same product can be implemented in real-time environment also. So as academicians, we should step up from the current level to, we must be able to generate, design our own hardware. We must be able to design our own software. We must be able to design our own application so that we can excel in academic research. So basically, I think we had to discuss about this little bit, how our research can influence the complete environment. So I need to speak much about it because as I was keep on telling you, this research, so as academician, what are we do? Not only as academician, even the industry people, what are we do? All the research is very important because human needs are endless, as I keep on repeating. So everywhere it must be deployed. If suppose if you are trying to predict a weather monitoring system, so as I explained just now, in order to update to the people, we need to know when rain can happen. So when you may have a storm, so you can sense the data. You can as soon as you read the data, the data must be checked with the previously stored database. There is your pattern matching. We say that, and based on the behavioral structure of the data, we can say that we can take the decision immediately. Even for all these process, human intervention is not required. That is a main point that I would like to highlight right now. Human intervention is not at all required because that's why the sensor I was telling that it's a interdisciplinary keyword because it can be utilized in all the platforms. If you deploy a server, so if you deploy a sensor in all the platform, it can sense the data. But the main problem of many people is what to do after collecting data. So we have to process it, we have to manipulate it, we have to visualize it, we have to incorporate new algorithm into it. We should be able to generate good result, which is not available. That's what the Einstein was keep on saying. If you knew what we are doing, that we cannot call it as a research. So when it comes to this research environment, so especially our real-time environment, after collecting the data, what to do? That's a question of many people. So here is a place. How can you, how your research can contribute to the real world enhancement? After processing the data, you have to, as I mentioned, you have to incorporate many algorithms. You can generate nice reports. You can do a lot of stuff. But how? For this, there are many predefined tools available. You can pull it from your, as a research point of view, you can pull it from the Google. You can Google it. You can, wherever field you are belong to, you can extract data. You can make use of the tools. You can visualize it. You can rewrite the coding, or you can, if you have the existing code, you can edit the code. You can do write your own coding also. Especially let me take one more example with respect to real-time environment. Everybody making use of that mobile phone, as everybody is making use of the same because now it becomes essential stuff. As we have this shelter, clothes, food is a basic thing for people. But it's about 2 decades ago. But nowadays, but last 1 decade, we cannot see a person without a mobile phone. So do you think that we have high security in a mobile phone? Really not. So the hackers can intrude into a mobile phone unless if it is iPhone. They may have a lot of options, but we use many people are making use of this Android applications. So what happened? The intruders can hack your mobile phone. They can steal all your data. If you are doing finance transformation, and when as you see, if you have a OTP, if you have installed some unwanted application, they can read your message instantly. They can make misuse it, misuse it.
Hello. Hel-
Because we started to use computer, we started to use many research, but
Sir, your voice is breaking,
security
sir.
came into limelight recently. Why? Because when we started to use our personal information, that's why. Yes,
The
ma'am.
voice was breaking. Yeah, yes, sir.
Ma'am, can you hear me? Connection is good.
Yeah,
How
now it's
about
okay, sir.
the participants? Are you able to hear me properly? Now it is okay, right, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. So back to the scenario. So when it comes to real-time environment, so once you get your data, so when it comes to mobile phone, as I was telling, so the intruders can intrude and they can steal the data. Whatever they want to do, they can do it. So In this case, especially not only for mobile phone when they steal data, you take weather monitoring system, if you take healthcare industry, if you take finance industry or retail, everywhere we are dealing with a lot of data. We need to know how to make use of the data effectively to give better solutions. So that is why this research as academics, we can do a lot of research on the platform. We can come up with a good decision, or we can generate nice report that where we can show that this is what I have come up with the result. And the result must be compared with the existing deployed results. This is how you can plot a nice graphs on your article to show that this is how my proposed system is compared with the existing deployed machines or algorithms, and this is how I come up with the nice results. But when it comes to any research, it must contribute to the real-time world. That's very, very important. The objective of research is not to only writing a paper or writing thesis. Apart from beyond this, we need to do a lot of stuff. We should do many things that must be able to, we must be able to deploy this in the real-time environment, and we ensure that our research is contributing the human growth, I would say that. So when it comes to academic research, so now from now on we shall discuss about only academic researchers. So this is a place we have to speak more about it. I would say why, because as academic research, what we do, we just will first after completing a masters, we'll get into any universities and we'll start to get admission with respect to their particular supervisors, and then we'll start to write your enroll your coursework, and if your coursework is completed, we'll start to do a research review and research article, and we'll go for submitted thesis. But this is not a research. Even many people, honestly speaking, many people are understanding what research is only at the end of their viva. But it should be, we have to change this pattern. This is possible only when we start to do the research in a proper way. So how are we supposed to start? So once you start to do a research, when after completing a master's, even if you are a supervisor, if you are a research scholar, if you are a student, we can do research at any point of time, even because PhD is not the end of research. It just is a beginning. It's just a milestone of our career, but it's a start. I would say always PhD is a starting point in which we can start our research, because there's a point we'll understand what is the research and what exactly we have to do. What exactly we are supposed to do as a research scholar or as a research supervisor, or how can we write a research article and how do we write a good effective thesis. We'll understand all these things only when we are about to complete the research work. So, what exactly we are supposed to look into before we start our research? So before you choose your research title, so nowadays I see people, who are approaching us, they want a fascinating title. That means, when somebody looks at the title, they must not be able to understand what it is. But it is not research. So even you can do, many people when they say nowadays actually in 2020, when somebody want to do research, do you want to do research in image processing? No, sir, I don't want to do research in image processing, or even in networking, because it's outdated concepts. None of the industry, none of the domain can be called as outdated domain. Why? Because all the platforms we need many research even now. Of course, as long as human are there in the world, as long as we use computers, as long as we use data from all the platforms, we need all the domains. We cannot say that networking is outdated one, the image processing is outdated one. How many of you? Now we all know that there are n number of divisions over there in network. There are many networks types. There are many areas of image processing. We take cloud computing, we take data mining, we take any domain. Everywhere we have a lot of divisions. So just by looking at the term around, you should say, no, I don't want to do in image processing and networking. Or if you take civil applications or mechanical department, only by looking into the title, we should not decide. What we are supposed to do, we should do a small review on the topic. If you decided to do research, first what you do, we should know where we have more interest is relying on. So how can you identify interest? Only when you read more concepts, then only we will understand, okay, this is what I can understand effectively. I'm sure I can do more research. So before you enroll your coursework, before you enroll your research title, please, as a researchers, so we should read a lot about all the domains related to network security, or cloud computing, or data mining, or image processing, or we take what else is there. There are n number of platforms over there when it comes to research. If you take aeronautical, you take civil applications, biomedical, wherever we are, you do read more about the particular domain and then understand the challenges in the particular domain, and then you take any one of the challenges and then you convert this into a research. That's it. So before you, the initial stage of academic research is we have to read a lot. And but most of the universities, what people are interested for research, you please publish 2 3 papers in conferences, and then you post your papers in eminent journals. It comes under SCA or Scopus or Web of Science or DMLP indexing, and then have your thesis. Just okay, if you complete 3 to 4 years, okay, you're good to go. And if you have your if you meet the eligibility of the particular university, then you can submit your thesis, but really not. So the main the main objective of the research is to understand. You should understand the concept effectively, and how do you ensure that the understand concept can be implemented in real-time environment? As researchers, we don't do it in real-time implementation. What do you do? If you are into data mining, you may be using NECA. If you are using image processing, you might be using MATLAB. If you are into networking, you might be using NS2 or NS3. So apart from the simulation tools, apart from these tools, you must be able to write a code for an application. We have to generate application that can be contributed to the real-time people. They must be able to use it in the. You can even develop an application, or say you can publish it in Play Store. People must be able to download and use your application to do more research on their own personal data. Yes, everything is possible. Now, before I start to tell you about how academic research can be utilized in real-time environment, there's a quick list of difference between the industrial research and academic research. So I did not get into it much. Let me tell you overall information about industrial and academic research. As academic research, as we all know that we don't do more implementation part. But here the concepts are completely open to all. That means if suppose if you have one concept is with you, what you do when you open Viva, we must be able to reveal it to the people, audience. We have to convey it properly. You have to have your presentation with you. You have to publish papers with you. You have to have a synopsis with you, so that you'll be able to go for Viva. You can show that this is what I have implemented, and I have compared my result with the Excel data. This is what I result. But whereas in industrial research, what people do, they don't reveal the concepts until they have the end product with them. They never open the data to the public, for sure. And also here the code, the information are not readable. That means here academic research, you might have written in English. That means anyone can read and understand. Whereas in industrial research, people, they don't show everything to everyone. Instead, what they do, they write it in appropriate that everybody cannot understand. Only the developers and very certain people, SMEs, can understand the concepts. And once they finalize the concept, when they implemented everything, they can show it to the, they can reveal the as an end product. They can reveal the results as an end product. When it comes to academic research, what we do, we write a paper, it go for a peer-reviewed journal, and they evaluate the concept. They make sure that it's getting accepted. Whereas in industrial research, here also peer review is getting place, but they don't do review on the only the concept. They do review on the implemented part. They do ensure that the implemented concept is properly designed by using nice architecture, and whether it is implemented properly by using hardware structure. And if everything is okay, then they can go for the release of the product. So now, basically, as academic research, what exactly we are supposed to do? As I told you, we are supposed to understand the research title first, and then we have to write the literature review. Then we need to go for writing a research article. Then you can go for writing your synopsis or thesis. But how can you excel in your academic research? That's very, very important. That's a key point that I need to highlight right now, because any number of people are doing research. How can you ensure that you are, we are differentiating it from other people by writing a good research article and research article. So literature review article, nowadays many people are not getting into it, because they are directly getting into writing a proposed work, and they want to ensure that once they are in the fourth year, fifth year, they start to do the research work, and they want to have their paper published in any essay according to Anna University in regular issue. And in other deemed universities, they need only in any essays or Scopus indexing journals. If you have all that papers, 2-3 papers with you, then you are good to, you can write your thesis. But this is not a case. So when you choose your research topic, ensure that the topics you are choosing the topic only after getting into many concepts. You read a lot and understand, okay, this is the area that I would like to do my research, and for that we have supposed to do many literature review. Literature review says collect hundreds of articles, not only hundreds of articles, you just collect and start to read from the start to, from abstract to conclusion, and make a note of all the concepts. And so that after collecting hundreds of articles, you will understand, okay, I can understand that this many challenges are available in the particular in a particular domain, but I would prefer to use a particular, in image processing, I would like to go with the cancer disease prediction. But you can say cancer disease prediction is an old concept. Yes, I agree. But even now, you can enhance the existing application, you can enhance the existing prediction method by incorporating new algorithm. Algorithm is need not to, don't think that only by adding a new parameter or change the existing parameter. Why not? Even since we have 3 to 6, all the universities are offering 3 to 6 years for completing the research work. But what we do as academician, after completing fourth year, fifth year, when you have an option to go file your fine, we'll start with the research work. In 6 months, I want to complete my research. In 1 year, I want to complete my research. Need not to 11th hour preparation never work. So what you do is plan it accordingly. So as soon as you enroll your course with any institution, what we are supposed to, we start to collect more data, read and understand it, and after that you file your topic and ensure that your topic, you are not deviating from the registered topic. This is very important. And after that, so this is possible after collecting more data, you can find the solution and you can start to write your literature review. Here is a place we are supposed to get into many topics, and we'll understand the concept. Okay, this is a place I decide to research. And here, and after choosing the review topics, what I should do next? Okay, I understand the concept. I understand that this is the area I decide to do my research, and I need to finalize my concept. What is the finalize the concept? How do you understand the finalize the concept? That is, okay, if suppose if it is hard to do research in image processing in cancer disease prediction. So there are many predefined algorithms are already available. There are many applications are available. How can you ensure that what sort of metrics you are supposed to incorporate to ensure that your research is a new one? And how can you ensure that, or even if you change small parameter of the existing algorithm, it's appreciable and it is okay that we can accept the research. But how can you excel? Excelling in the research is you have to change the algorithm completely. But changing algorithm completely would take more time. Maybe it may take 1 year to complete the process. It may take 2 years to complete the process. But nobody has the patience to write it. But what you do, I always encourage my research scholars to write, have your own algorithm instead of modifying the existing one with a small, A and B with small parameters. If you change your algorithm, if you have sufficient time, if you have 3 to 4 years of time to complete research, try to design your own algorithm, try to design your own architecture, and incorporate into your design, into your research article. But do not write your research article immediately. What I insist everybody is, now it's good to have your patent before you have your research article. Why? Because if you have your concept with you, just first you prepare the proposal. That means this is what the complete information about the proposed research work, and make a nice diagram about the same, whether it is a hardware design or whether it is a software design, or whether if it is about a particular application, even if it is a theoretical concept, no issue, you just make it as a proposal. And then you go for a patent filing. Nowadays, many universities and institutions are insisting the employees to have more patent. They are filing it. But according to Indian survey, 90% of the filing patents are not getting granted. Why? Because we only file the patent. We don't know what to do after that. But when you go for the filing patent, okay, I don't want to get into this topic right now. Maybe I'll tell you after the completion of process and everything. At the end, I'll tell you how to file a patent and all these things to excel in filing a patent. So when it comes to this research topic, after choosing the topic, you just start to write your research article. So here is a place, this is how you're supposed to do the research. I didn't show you. That means you excrete a lot of data from different platforms and narrow down to your particular area, and then you start to do your proposed method. So once you have a proposed method with you, and if you're an image processing, you can make use of your MATLAB tool to implement all your concepts. There are many algorithms available. There are many predefined tools available in MATLAB. You can make use of the same. You can implement the code. You can get the data. You can compare with the existing results. You can have your nice reports out there. If you say that my research article is a good article, it has to satisfy more than 16 parameters. I do not know how many of you are aware of this really, because what we do, most of the time nowadays people are looking for a paper, maybe number of pages. If somebody has more than 10 pages, 15 pages, 25 pages, my research article has 30 pages. Number of pages of your research article doesn't determine the quality of your research article. Clearly understand, or any article, because even if you go to IEEE, you can find some overseas people, scientists have papers in 3-4 pages in IEEE, even 2 papers in IEEE got published in even impact of more than 12, 15 or 20. even getting application in SE with 1 point in regular issue is not that easy. If what I'm saying is not by making payment. If you do it on your own, if you submit and track, and if you ensure that if you're getting acceptance in SE, it will take minimum 6 months to 1 year. There are chances it may, for the application to take another 2 years from the date of acceptance. But when it comes to these writing a research article, number of pages will never determine the quality. And also nowadays plagiarism, everybody, everywhere people are speaking of plagiarism, because if you look back, a decade ago, we don't speak about plagiarism. If you have an article, if you have data with you can write and you can publish it. But then after that only, universities started to struggle, because even many universities in India, I don't want to spell out the name, many universities, they got into issue that the research thesis and articles are copied from overseas people. Some even now the cases are going on in in the different court. So to overcome this only, they started to implement this plagiarism tools have been incorporated, especially in an university. We use what, there is a tool called, I don't know, I forgot the tool, in especially in Anna University. But the eminently used tools Authenticate and Turnitin, but we don't use it in Anna University. Turnitin, Authenticate are used everywhere, but
Mukund sir.
just Urkund, yeah, exactly. So Urkund. But what I insist, or what I insist all the research scholars and supervisors, instead of, before you get your research plagiarism report in Urkund, try to have it in Turnitin and Authenticate. Why? Because if you have 10% in Authenticate, if you check this in a 20% Authenticate, if you check in Turnitin, Urkund, how much you get? Only 5% or 6%. That's a ratio, because Urkund has a capacity to extract the plagiarism properly. But when compared to Authenticate and Turnitin, not like no, I won't say that. It's far better than Urkund. So have your plag report first. But plagiarism alone never determine the quality of the paper also. Why? Because the plagiarism and number of pages. Nowadays, many people focusing more on this too. Because what they do, they collect data from different article and they'll put it in one article. They'll change the parameters here and there. Then make use of this diagrams in an inappropriate way, because when you drag and drop, the alignment won't be good. So they'll ensure that they are copying the images, because when you copying the image, when you go for the plagiarism, it cannot understand it. The people are using a lot of tricks. But to overcome this, there are many tools available. Even Authenticate and Turnitin are effectively making read and understand your flag from different articles. If you cite the article properly, plagiarism can be removed. And even if you Control C, and many people are using Control C, Control V to write a new proposed article for publishing in by making 50,000, 20,000 to get acceptance Scopus applications. But don't do that. Even when you spend you are putting your name under your particular research title, because when people look into research article, even if you may be paying 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh or 10 lakh for getting acceptance in any reputed journal. But okay, no other go. Nowadays, many people are doing it. But since you may have a lot of folks to do it in your institution, and because of that, you may not be able to write your paper. If you approach somebody, if they do, but read the concept and understand the concept, and do not rely only on the number of pages and content and plagiarisms. Because apart from this, novelty must be incorporated into research. Look into your algorithm and what sort of algorithms you propose, and how your proposed algorithm is differentiated can be ensure that it is much better than the previously proposed algorithm, and have a proper tables and have proper number of graphs must be plotted in the research article, number of equations. Abstract must speak about, in the first 2 lines should speak about your domain, and the rest of the 2-3 lines should speak about your identified issue, and last 2-3 lines should speak about your proposed solution, and also you should speak a little bit about the used tools and the instruments, and if you have any patent, and you can, all these things must be addressed properly in the abstract itself. When somebody is looking into your abstract, one thing, when we look into the abstract, if you read the abstract, you easily understand whether it's a proposed work or not. And the structure of the article is very, very important. How are you supposed to write, and how are you supposed to propose the method, and where can you incorporate new ideas? So everything must be properly identified by using your research articles. So when it comes to as academics, what we do, as I mentioned, after identifying the research, we have to implement it in the real-time environment. So either it is your domain, Weka or CloudSIM or Aneka, wherever you have your, if you're related to data mining, cloud computing, image processing, networking, big data, whatever application wherever departments you are from, you try to use application, try to use the softwares to implement your concept and ensure that the results are innovative. Look into the innovative results. Do not look into the number of pages and your this what the plagiarism, have audited. When we talk to people, okay, we ask, okay, how about the paper quality? They say, okay, sir, the paper has only less than 10%. Even you can have the flag less than 5.2. It's also possible, because when you change the keyword, there are many tools available. When you Google it, there are many tools available to change your data, to in a new form. But don't do that, because as we all know that when you feed your data, especially in Google, if you use if you have your article, if you would like to change, if you would like to check the plagiarism, many people do make use of their free tools available in Google. But please don't do that. Why? Because when you after the submission, as you all know, when you install the product, or we don't have the habit of reading the terms and conditions of any application. We press okay, 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 we'll install the application. Even if you Google it, either if you simple application converting Word to PDF, PDF to Word, and Excel to PDF or CSV files, there are many predefined applications available in Google. We upload the document, we download the document instantly. But we don't do have the habit of reading the privacy policies. What happened is, all the applications are already available online without your knowledge after 6 months. It's a default condition for all the free tools. So when you submit a research article, the same concept, the same research article can be available. Definitely it will be available online after a few months, 3-4 months, based on the privacy policy particular. So don't try to use the free tools, and use only your authorized, authenticate, Turnitin, or any other tools preferred by your particular universities. So after implementation, after writing a research article, so what exactly we are supposed to look into it? So when it comes to these research article writing is very, very important, as I told you. So have a proper idea with you. So I want to make sure that I must have a proper introduction. I must have the proper literature review. I must have the proper, what the implemented concept must be defined properly, and then you just go with your research contributions. Then there is a way you can speak more about your comparison of different results, and graphs must be plotted properly, and ensure that you don't use only MS Word alone. There are many tools available in Google to design your nice architecture diagrams, and try to use many innovative ideas to incorporate your research article to ensure that it is really looking good. And after that, have a proper conclusion. Conclusion is also very important, to where you can say that this is how your we have identified this problem, and we understand, and we understood that, and we proposed method to solve this issue. And last two lines should speak about the future enhancement of your existing work. And as a research academic research, what you do is, you may have one research article, one research review, and we always insist our scholars to have minimum 3 research articles, because in order to write effective thesis, if you have, maybe you may have your introduction, literature review, and from chapter 3 on up, we are supposed to incorporate the proposed method. Chapter 3, 4, 5. You only minimum 3, but I never say that only 3 or 4 or 5. If you have more number of research articles, your thesis will be effective. And according to most of the universities, have preferred to have 100-page plus is mandatory for writing a thesis. You can imagine a scenario if you have 10 pages in one proposed article. Okay, you have solved the concern of the university that I need only one research article in SCA or Scopus. If you satisfy, or 2 Scopus, most of the people, 99.9% of the people say that, okay, I'm done with my university norms. I have completed one article in SCA, one article in Scopus, so I'm eligible to submit this. No, only getting research, by writing one research article based on universities, you cannot excel. I'm sure about it, because if you want to ensure that when you submit your resume to any universities or any institution, you must be able to get your job opportunity immediately. You know how? Just try to have your research thesis with more number of publications in a reputed journals. Not only, even if your institution is insisting only to have publication in Scopus, don't go for Scopus. Have your publication in SCAs, Web of Science, and not only 1 or 2. Have n number of articles, more than 3 or 5, so that you people write a good research article. Even when you write research article, go for proper citations and try to cite your research article properly. And then before you go for your writing research article, that's why I need to speak about a patent right now. So patent in the sense, as you know, it's a corporate license of a particular product. Not only the product, even for the concept also you can have your patent. So just write the concept and make it as a patent. And that in India we can, in IP India, in the Indian Ministry of Science is authenticating all our innovations. The IP India, you can submit your proposals, they will evaluate your proposals. They should take 1 year for evaluating your proposals, and after that it go for and after 1 year they'll send an email from the submitted portal. And if your research is really good, and the experts will review your research and they'll ask for a few queries. And if you're able to solve the queries, and you will be granted for sure. And your research proposal have limitation 3 to 6 years validity or 7 years or after 10 years. If you really want to extend, you have to make an additional payment. You can go for the re-evaluation. Then you can go for the again for the grant. So you just file your patent and ensure that this concept is patented. You can just have this word in your research article, and then you submit your research article to any publishers, any SCM publishers, any other Springer, elsewhere, IEEE, IOET, ACM, in the sense Wiley, wherever you submit your article, definitely they look into your that particular word, it has own weightage. Definitely your article gets selected. You need not operate somebody who's for charging 1.5 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, even for IEEE, more than 5 lakh, 10 lakh for having articles, in IEEE 7.10 point. You need not to spend all your money on this. If you are able to get proper data, if you are able to write a good research article and finite data is with you, you can have your publication in any journals. Especially as a researchers, when you go for a handling in meeting is also okay. You know how to choose a topic. You have chosen the topic by doing a lot of research, and then you have finalized the concept also. You understand the challenges, and you can incorporate you incorporated many ideas. Now your proposed method is ready, and everything is ready. Now you have a paper and everything with you. When you go for a meeting, so what do? You usually prepare a presentation. But there is a survey in India, not only India, especially in India, 85% of the presentations are coming with measured up with data. Because when you have presentations here, do you have hundreds of lines in my presentation? I'm scrolling it slowly, not really. Only the bullet points are there. This is how the presentation must be presented. Most of the people when they go for presentation, what they do, whatever they want to speak, they have 120 slides with me to speak for 1 hour presentation. Why? Not required. If you have 10 slides, 15 slides, 20 slides, more than enough. If you have 10 to 12 slides, more than enough to speak about 1 hour, 2 hour presentation. Why? Because if you have more data with you, excuse me. So do not rely on the complete slides. You, as a presenter, we should be able to speak more about the data. As a participant, they should, or the visitors, the guests, they must be able to read and understand. Okay, this, but must be able to understand only the particular information. Okay, this is what he is speaking about right now. So you write less, speak more. That's also a key point of your research. So when you go for presentation, prepare it properly, and you speak more and try to have quote more examples. Try to quote real-time examples from the real world and ensure that your presentation is effective. And try to have have incorporate visuals, because visuals are very important than text. Because when you incorporate some innovative images related to your research, images speaks more than 10 times about your words, 100 times about your words. So try to have more images while you have your presentations also. And now, so as you know, as a research scholar, we have we write papers, we write research review, we go for many presentations. And what next? So how do you excel? So as I told you, try to do your PDF after the PhD. Why? Because so in India, I think 33, between 32, if you cross 33 or 35, I'm not sure, but 35 I think. So if you cross an age, you cannot go for PDF. But many people are moving to overseas because there are funds available. People are offering you, many universities sponsoring you. You can go for your PDF over there. You can complete it in 2 years. Under the guidance of a particular person or a university is sponsoring you, you can complete your research, you can get your PDF, you can come back, you can excel in your research. And also, as an academician, we have to get more fundings. There are many funding institutions available in India, especially ACT offering, UGC offering a lot of funds, and there are many other, even in Tamil Nadu government and Karnataka offering. There are many people are offering fundings. Why? Even for COVID-19, recently you might have heard about it. Tamil Nadu government has offered, especially for research people from Tamil Nadu academicians, if you have any concepts to how to sanitize it properly and how to eradicate this issue permanently, if you have a solution, you need to have the proposed method with you. Just if you have a solution with you, you can update to the Tamil Nadu government. They'll offer you 5 lakhs rupees. Even 2 months ago, it got published in Hindu article. So similarly, all the states and governments are offering many funding to your projects. When you start to write your research article, if you get your funding, you just mention your research in the research article itself. It has its own weightage. So how you can have your patent. Similarly, you can go for funding projects also. So in order to excel in academics, First, you understand the research and write a good research article and implement the concepts. And don't stop your research only after getting your PhD. It's an initial point where you can understand what is research. Really, honestly speaking, there is a point where you can receive research, and after that, do PDF and contribute to the real-time environment growth. And just have your own implemented product. And if you have if you have some implemented product with you, if you are belong to mechanical, because what mechanical department, especially from if you're designing an IC engine, what you do, you can have your nowadays the car spare parts are not tested by using this individual parts. We need not check. There is a IC, sensors are available. You can check what sort of issues are available in the moment. The sensors can tell you that this is what the issue available right now in the car. Similarly, you can implement the concept. You can have your product with you. You can make it as a patent. Then you can make revenue out of this. You can have a MOU with a hardware company. You can start to release a product. You can make crores every year. Honestly, speaking, and people are making, even in overseas, they are making, rather than getting money from research institution, they are making more money nowadays. Many institutions are reducing their employee salaries due to COVID-19, or due to we do not have more admissions in especially in engineering field, but we not to bother at all. Even you can excel. We have, even institution can offer you even 2-3 lakhs. Even in Tamil Nadu itself, people are getting it. Even in many institutions in Tamil Nadu, reputed institutions are offering. How? Because they have number of applications, they have more patent, they are have more funding projects with them. 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crores, 3 crore. Because many universities in overseas also offering funding projects. So try to get more funding. What are you supposed to do? Have a proper proposal and ensure that the proposals of your proposed proposal is contributing real-time environment and environment growth. Is very important. If you have finite results and if you prepare a nice proposal, obviously, and you'll be able to get the same in 2-3 months, and then they'll start to release the product in 20%, 30%, 40%, and at last you are supposed to come with a good product. You can have your nice presentations over there. And patent, as was keep on telling you, patent filing is also very important. It's mandatory for many institutions right now, and try to have more research and try to file your patent. And also, here I can tell you for this Fulbright, the Fulbright and Humboldt. These two, note down this name. These two are eminent funding agencies who offers for your PDF. If you'd like to do your research, PDF in overseas, you can approach these two people. They'll sponsor 100%. They'll sponsor you 100%. You can switch over to any institution. Even if you go for in deputation also, I think many institutions are sending you to your PDF. And having international collaboration. Here is a place, after completing your research, do not have your application only on in a particular domain. If you do your research in cloud computing, after completing research, don't have your article only in cloud computing alone. Try to have your research article in image processing, networking, security, and big data. Why? Because so that you can widen your knowledge in different environment and have your tie-up with many overseas institutions. If suppose if you are from India, have a tie with Australia, Singapore, any institution in overseas, and then try to publish your article along with them. Why? Because when an article has, when they read a name, authors, one from India, one from US, one from Australia, one from Singapore, this clearly shows that it has an international collaboration, and obviously the researchers must have some contribution from their part here and there. Definitely the article will be a good one. So because as a publisher point of view, they look into various aspects in your quality of your research article, and they'll review article appropriately with respect to your novelty of data and the write-up style and your proposed method, equations and algorithms, results and discussion part, and based on your, how about what about the history of the particular author. So, author in the sense, if you have an international collaboration, obviously you have high weightage when you submit your article to IEEE. If you have more than 10 or 12 factor, obviously you have your good reputation. You have international collaboration with overseas people. So these are different opportunities available. Apart from this, also if you are good at writing coding, try to enhance your skill to write a coding. That's why nowadays many institutions are insisting this people to get consultancy project. But many people do not know what to do in consultancy projects. So how can you get it? You can approach even BSNL, even you can approach any government organization. But the drawback is you may not be able to get fund from government organization. But you'll be able to understand how are we supposed to design an application. Because if you design an application for them, they'll start to use the same in their platform. So if you approach any IT or ITS, IT enabled service companies, even we offers consulting project to people. What we do is if suppose we get project from overseas and we get project from a particular domain-based companies, and particular module will be given to the researchers or the employees for academicians. We'll explain this is what we are looking for, and they're supposed to write a code and they'll explain this. But here one issue will come into about security, because many company cannot reveal all the information to the academic field or the research faculties, because they may reveal the data, the code may be available on net, so that somebody can hack the data. So they don't reveal the data. So the demo product can be given to, I would say that always what the beta alpha version can be designed by using the academicians or academic people. So they can write a code, they can design the product, then they can deliver to the IT or ITS. They can make use of it. So do not start your research only by having your publication in authorized universities and good eminent journals, 2, 3, or having your with your completing your research by getting PhD alone. Not really. That's the initial point of your research. So have your PDF and try to have your, because doing research over PDF in overseas, they don't bother about your age. There's no constraint for your age. So have a more patent and try to have more international collaborated articles with you, and try to have your more funding projects with you, and also try to get more consultancy projects too. That's why the platform will help you to fill the gap between IT and academics, because when a student come out of the academics from the university campus, they do not know how the real-time industry is. So that is why all the companies, the first they're giving a training on the same. But if the academic students have more knowledge about academic, this industry projects, that is academic projects, they, the industry projects, they can explain what exactly project is. That is why we are using software engineering. How are we supposed to collect data for manipulation? How are we supposed to implement it? And what factors we should look into it while we design an application? And all these things can be explained to the student appropriately only when the staff knowing all these information. That is why all the institutions are insisting the employees or professors to have more knowledge about academic projects and get more academic projects. So please get more academic projects. Do not hesitate to write an email to any company in the world, and definitely you'll get the email back for sure. And they'll tell you at least if they can or not, they can reply back. If they can, they may have a lot of constraint or they may have a MOA with you. Definitely you'll be able to get the project. They can do more on this. So after PhD, do all these things and you'll be able to excel in your academic research. Okay, I'm done for today about the same. I hope you might have enjoyed this little bit. I might have given you a new project, a new detail for sure. Now you can post your queries one by one. Ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Participants, if you have any queries, like you can post it in the chat box. So the session was excellent. It was very motivating for the academic people to pursue their research and to excel in the academic research. It was we had a very good session actually, sir, for the day. And we had conducted more than 15 or 20 webinars throughout. But this was the session that no participants have raised a question for feedback link till the end of the session. So it shows that how interesting the session was and how impact you had with the participants. So it was a very nice session that you gave a good insight on research for the academic people. I hope this will be a motivational session for all the researchers as well. So thank you so much, sir, for having a good insight on this particular topic and sharing a good insight and experience about the research. And thanks much. And I would like to, yes, sir.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, ma'am. So, and also thank you very much for all the participants. Ma'am mentioned that there's no question, so it clearly shows that you might have understood all the concept very clearly. But there's no concept we discussed today. Just what we know very well. Just I was coming with all the points effectively. That's it. So please do have more application and do research effectively, and ensure that your research is contributing to the real world appropriately. In case if you have any questions, if you would like to contact us anytime, you can reach me on my number or you can visit us our website for more clarification. And due to this pandemic time, so we are making use of this platform to read and understand many concepts as I told you, to fill the gap between IT and academics. So make use of the platform effectively. And really, my heart to thank to this France Civil Engineering College Tirunelveli, one of the eminent university of southern part of Tamil Nadu, especially from Oxford of southern part, I would say. So my heart thanks to the Information Technology Department, especially to Dr.
Dr.
Dr. Subbulakshmi ma'am, and who has given an opportunity to share my experience and view on this topic today. And due to this pandemic, please don't go out and be safe at home and kindly maintain the social distance wherever you go. And thank you very much and wish you all the best, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.